So sorry. You good to go? Okay. You good, Tracy? We'll get started then. Okay. Well, thank you all for being here. We will call this business meeting of the Township Board of Trustees to order at 7 p.m. Item 2 on our agenda, Trustee Martin, care to lead us in the pledge? Yes. Thank you.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you very much. We will proceed to a roll call of board members. Trustee Leonard.
Here.
Trustee Martin. Here. Treasurer Robinson.
Here.
I am Supervisor Combs. Clerk Mackey.
Here.
Trustee Sherwood.
Here.
And a motion would be in order to excuse our missing trustee.
I'll make a motion to excuse Trustee Glass.
Support.
As a motion and support, all in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed, nay. The motion carries. Thank you very much. Trustee Glass is excused. Are there any additions or deletions to or from the agenda this evening? Seeing none. We'll proceed to the first of 2 public comment periods this evening. If you'd like to make a public comment, feel free to step to either podium that is more comfortable for you. We will use the microphones during this meeting for recording purposes. Let us know your name and address, and you'll have 3 minutes to use as you choose.
Uh-oh, she's back. Alrighty. Can you hear me?
We can.
Wonderful. Okay. Hi, everyone. I'm Amber from Wildwood off Main, Kalamazoo, Michigan. In case my TikToks haven't reached your algorithm, I'm going to get you up to date on some things that have been happening. So on May 7th, CABA condemned the Wildwood off Main apartments, and later that day, residents received a message from management saying that they were just as shocked as we were and that they have retained counsel and they will be disputing the condemnation. This stoked rightful distrust in the management, and that's when the community banded together in our WhatsApp to kind of discuss our experiences. During the week following, folks started making the decision to move earlier than their intended lease end date. And they were met with a Word document, emphasis on Word document, settlement agreement from the front office that has a confidentiality and non-disparagement clauses detailing $5,000 penalties for speaking out about your experience, negative reviews, comments, and postings. All of this to be signed within a few days with an arbitrary deadline of May 15th, 4 p.m. So now people are being coerced into silence. The following week, we start to see the staff giving tours, moving folks into condemned apartments. Listings on their website and apartments.com have no indication that there's anything going wrong in these apartments. So they're still collecting application revenue as normal. The Facebook specifically was posting happy-go-lucky posts like refer a friend and get a reward. So my sister and I started commenting and asking about the condemnation. Those were promptly deleted along with the Facebook and the Google reviews, and then I was blocked entirely. So I would love to keep you updated on what's going on there, but I can't. So this week, there are individuals that are receiving emails from management that rent will be charged on the 1st. So in that circumstance, from the hundreds of comments I've gotten on my TikTok, that's super duper illegal. So they could make one decision to not charge rent, or instead, now we're going to have 292 individual units making and weighing the decisions between, do I have the time, money, resources to potentially combat the retaliation that Wildwood might come forward with if I don't pay rent, or just pay it because I just want this to go away. So some of the questions that I'm looking to find some answers on is when Wildwood does their next illegal thing, who is the proper person to inform about this, and what is the proper process to follow when I report those findings? Additionally, there's tons of people that are rapidly rehoming, and there's a lot of expenses being incurred. I specifically am putting a lot on my credit card to be able to manage this, and so it'd be interesting to find out who is financially responsible for the condemnation and all of the collateral damage coming along with that. But thank you for your time.
Thank you very much. Other public comment this evening? Please.
My name is Jeff Wiseman, Kalamazoo resident for 83 years and currently live in Prairieville Township. I have been working and taking pictures and talking to people for the last 2 years on a bunch of trash that is located, I believe, in the township. I put some pictures up there to show you what it is. And I cannot understand why nobody is doing anything about it. There are hundreds of tires. The trash keeps growing. I just drove by there again tonight, and it's not getting any smaller. It's not blocked off. It should be blocked off so people can't drive back there. There's no reason for people to drive back there since there are no houses back there. It's only a place for dumping trash, tires, appliances, sofas, garbage in bags. And I've approached the township, well, several times, either by phone or coming out here myself and showing pictures to people, and nothing is being done about it. And I'm wondering why you continuously allow such a mess to exist within the township. You mentioned you were aware of it. You knew where it was, and I don't understand why nobody is doing anything. It's just, in this day and age, and even the township this past few months, or a few months ago, was talking about, let's clean up and let's get rid of tires and let's get rid of trash around your homes, and yet you allow this to exist for years. And it keeps growing. And I would like to I talked to the county about this, part of the administration. They contacted the township. They said somebody from the township will contact you. I never heard a word from the township about this. And I would like to just be able to sit face to face with somebody and maybe you have a different understanding of what's going on. But for me, it should not exist, and it should be removed, and it should be blocked off where people cannot drive their vehicles and pickup trucks and trailers back in there and unload. It's illegal to do it.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Additional public comment? Please.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Joyce Elele, and I'm a public affairs specialist with the Small Business Administration. So I'm here this evening to present the types of assistance that's available through the Small Business Administration. Following the March 6th tornado that was heavy in the Cass, Branch, and St. Joseph counties, there was an evaluation and a declaration, an agency-wide declaration was made to provide loan assistance to people who were impacted by the effects of the tornado. So the Cass, Branch, and St. Joseph are the primary counties, which means that they can benefit from everything that's available under the Small Business Administration disaster loan assistance. But Kalamazoo County is designated a contiguous county. And what that means is that businesses here can benefit from the business physical disaster loan assistance. They can benefit from the economic injury disaster loan. And of course, there is the homeowners loan, homeowners and renters loan, which basically they may not qualify for. So for the business disaster loan, you have up to $2 million that you can access if there was like a damage to your business property based off of the tornado. Then for the economic injury disaster loan, for every working capital that a business might need, if you're able to link the impact of what's going on in your business to the tornado of March 6th, you're also eligible. I mean, the businesses or even private nonprofit organizations, religious organizations, faith-based organizations can benefit from that. Then for the homeowners and renters loan as well. Well, that's not for this county. So the maximum for the business physical disaster loan is $2 million. For the economic injury disaster loan is also $2 million. and the interest rates are really low. Like for the businesses, it's 4%, just about that, and for the private nonprofit organizations, about 3.6%. So right now, we have a disaster loan outreach center at the Three Rivers, where anyone who is impacted could go in and apply. And then there is also the, you can apply online at the SBA site for this, and I'll be dropping some of these handouts here. So, I mean, that's basically what it is, but there's more information that I can't just go on and on to provide this evening, but I will just drop the information so that anybody can feel free to apply. You don't have to wait until the insurance comes in. We always tell people, go ahead and apply. There is no cost for application, and there is no cost to decline even after you have been given the loan. So that makes it very easy for someone to make that call to go ahead and apply and get the assistance they need.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Additional public comment this evening? Please.
Good evening, folks. I have notes. I don't really need them. My name's Marcus Johnson. Since we are in the wake of Memorial Day, I'll also mention I'm a veteran. I served in the Army National Guard for over 10 years. It's really hard for me to quit things. I've been in a relationship with my partner for over 20 years. I'm also a resident at Wildwood off Main Apartments. I've lived there for over 12 years. This morning I handed in my keys, and I left the apartment. I did so with a considerable amount of concern for what's happening with my fellow residents. A lot of them are college students who don't have the financial resources to leave their residence in the middle of the month. Some of them are people with families. Some of them are people on fixed incomes. And the things that we are told by apartment management, things that are clearly illegal, things that are clearly spelled out in Michigan state law that they can't do to people. It seems like there is this reckless and callous disregard for the authority of this township, for Mike Allwine and the Kalamazoo Area Building Authority. I don't scare easily. I spent like 9 months dodging bombs in Iraq, but I know that there are other families, other residents in that complex who don't know enough, don't know how to do the research, and would rather play it safe and just do what the apartment office tells them to. And they're doing this because they just don't have the resources, they don't have the support that they need. So I've called Senator McCann's office. I have called Julie Rogers' office. I have done interviews, multiple interviews. I have reached out to New Earth Residential Properties, but I'm still not getting anywhere. So I'm here and I'm asking for the township to think not just of me, because I've already turned in my keys and I can find additional support somewhere else, but I want this township to think specifically of the residents there and the way that they're treated by the management office. This township has the authority to intervene. It already has, thankfully, with Mike Allwine posting those notices on our doors. It lets us know that there's a problem. We need the authority of the township to step in and stop the apartment complex from doing more things that can intimidate and frustrate our residents. So anything that you can do, I would be greatly appreciative for, and I know that my fellow tenants would be as well. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Additional public comment this evening? Please.
Hello again. Hello. My name's Cindy. I too am a Wildwood off Main tenant. I'm a senior citizen, and I'm living out of a box right now. I just want to add to a couple of things to what Marcus and Amber shared, that regarding the condemned situation we face there was a 30-day limit for which the management has to require the necessary things to continue on with the repairs if they choose, or get the permits that are necessary. That brings us to about June 5th. And the reason I mention this so specifically is because June 1 rent is usually, we think of it as June 1. So, I meant to say June's rent, usually we think of it as at the first of the month. The management is desperately trying to get as much of that as they can from their behavior. And we're hoping for direction, if not from yourselves, something very verbal publicly for these people that think they have to give them their money because they're being bullied, is the essence of what's going on there. It's criminal, or it's at least illegal, but it's bullying at its finest, I think. Anyways, this is day 20 of those 30 days. So this is intended to be an update. To date, I personally have dealt with 39 emails respective to this situation of the homeless crisis going on over on West Main Street in Kalamazoo Township, where I actually, by the way, grew up in Westwood. This is no longer just a housing crisis, if you will. It's now a medical. This is traumatic for people. We've had actual people in the hospital from ulcers, documented. The fact that we're not getting our mail delivered at our normal mailboxes, and we have to obtain them from the office, which is not 24-hour availability, means that medications become unavailable, at least readily. And I guess I want to make a little back up here on a number of people this impacts and at what level the response can be obtained, because from the 39 emails that I have personally done, and the 55 outgoing, that means I made them, calls I've made to all the different agencies that I could ascertain numbers for. And everyone was very cordial, but only did we get phone numbers to call. So to date, day 20 of the 30 days that this situation is going to come to some head at, we have had zero resource from anyone. And we, again, Amber has explained, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And a reminder, we do have a second public comment period at the end of the meeting as well. Any other public comment? Seeing no movement in the room, we will proceed to the consent agenda. Clerk Mackey?
Thank you, Mr. Supervisor. I will move to approve the consent agenda as recommended by the superintendent and the supervisor.
Support.
There's a motion in support. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, nay? The motion carries. Thank you all very much. We do have a presentation this evening for our public hearing and presentation portion of the meeting. Superintendent, would you care to introduce our presenters?
Sure. Thank you, Chair. I'd like to call up our police chief and his leadership team, Darien Smith. As you know, about 2 weeks ago, Darien was promoted to police chief, and he has quickly filled his leadership role, so we thought it would be very important to get all of them in front of you so you can put name to face. I would also say I think that we all should be very happy that all of these promotions were internal, and we are just continuing. I appreciate Darien's quick speed to get his team on board, and I will let him introduce them.
All right. Well, I know most of you, seen you over the years. I've been with the township for about 23 years, was officer for about a year before that in a small town. So also a lifelong Kalamazoo resident. So I jokingly remember when Nazareth College used to be a college because my grandma lived right up by there. So used to walk through there when it was a full campus. So I do appreciate the opportunity to serve as your next chief of police, and just wanted to thank you for that, and also want to introduce my leadership team that'll be working closely with me. So first is Derek Thompson. He'll be in charge of the patrol division. And then next is Administrative Sergeant Matt Davis, who'll be in charge of our support services. So I'll let them each say a little something.
I know I've met most of you, but if not, I'm Derek Thompson. I've been with the township for about 11 years now. Moved here from the Holland area. Actually met my wife in Westwood, so kind of stayed ever since. Most recently got promoted to lieutenant position from community policing unit, and super excited for the opportunity, and thanks for having us tonight.
First time at this podium, Matt Davis. I have around 20 years of law enforcement. I started the township in 2015, came from the city of Three Rivers before that. I've been a patrol sergeant since 2018 until 2 weeks ago, where I've now moved up to administrative sergeant. I think we got a great team moving forward. I'm excited to serve and see what we can do with this community, and it's been a pleasure to serve with you guys.
All right, so I'll field any questions if there are any. If not, we'll conclude our night. So before we go.
Thank you all. I just wanted to say thank you, Chief Smith, and both the leadership team here and the officers. I know that Township Police have gone through a lot of change the past several months, and so thank you all for maintaining the consistency, both in leadership and service. I continue, as I'm just as a resident out, sort of living and doing business in the township, I continue to hear only good things about the Township Police Force, and that's thanks to you all and your leadership. So thank you for that.
All right.
But yeah, are there any questions since it's only the table?
I have no questions, but I'm going to comment. I know all three of you very well for over the years, but I really welcome the team together. I've heard a lot of good things also, and I'm glad to see you guys stay in Kalamazoo Township and work in Kalamazoo Township and make this thing work. So it's all about us, so about our police department. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
Any other comments or questions?
Just a comment. I just want to express my gratitude for all three of you. I know there's been a lot of change in your department, and you all stepped up, and we're just all really appreciative of you and all of the work that you do. So thanks.
Well, I'm going to jump in here now. As I wave at you all every time you guys pass, multiple times a day. So just thank you all, of course, for stepping up to the plate and being willing to take over, take charge, and take on these leadership roles. So I wish you all nothing but the best, and however we can help you all help us, just let us know.
Any other comments?
Thank you, guys.
All right. Guys, have a good evening. Thank you so much for having us.
Thank you all.
Thanks, guys.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right, and thank you, Superintendent, for navigating that. I think our board is aware of this, but as Superintendent Moore is responsible for all the daily operations, including hiring and leadership changes. And so thank you, Superintendent, for maintaining consistency there as well. With that, we will proceed. There is no old business this evening, so we can proceed directly to new business. We have a few items that I think will be fairly brief. First, item A, the motion to adopt the resolution, or proposed motion, to participate in the MEDC, or Michigan Economic Development Corporation's Redevelopment Ready Communities Program. Superintendent, did you have anything you wanted to say about that before we proceed?
We met with MEDC a couple of weeks ago. In 2024, the township moved forward and adopted a resolution, and then did not move forward. Now that we have the new full-time planner, we are in a better position to now move ahead. They just asked that we re-adopt the resolution so that we have access to the toolbox that they make available to us, some marketing tools, some data collection. They'll be working with us more closely now through Ben Keller, our new planner.
Thank you very much. And thanks to Ben as well. It has been, by all accounts, fantastic for this township to have him aboard as our full-time planner. A motion would be in order.
I'll make a motion to adopt the resolution to participate in the Michigan Economic Development Corporation's Redevelopment Ready Communities Program.
Support.
There's a motion and support. I have just one small discussion item there in support of this motion. I am excited and hopeful to be able to share with the folks at the Southwest Michigan First event on Thursday that we took this action. So I would ask the board to support it. But is there any discussion or questions on the matter?
Well, just a quick point. I've been really pleased. As someone who's been in the office, I gotten the chance to work with the new planner a bit, and he's very knowledgeable, and I just want to thank the superintendent for for picking him because he's going to be a really great asset.
Thank you very much. Other discussion? Seeing none, as this is a resolution, I believe I was gonna say, I believe a roll call vote's in order here. So we will proceed to a vote. Trustee Sherwood?
Aye.
Trustee Martin?
Aye.
Clerk Mackey?
Aye.
Trustee Leonard?
Aye.
I'm an aye. Treasurer Robinson?
Aye.
And the motion carries unanimously. Thank you very much. We'll proceed to our second new business item this evening. There we are. And that would be item B, and I've lost my paperwork, but I believe that is our resolution, thank you, to discuss the sale of property owned by the township, which was discussed for board recollection at our most recent work session. This is that odd triangle of property that is currently vacant and, as we established previously, has no real possible use for the township itself. The owner, as we discussed, or potential owner, but the owner of the property adjacent would like to acquire this property in order to more consistently maintain it, keep it clean, I think potentially extend a fence around it. But Superintendent, do you have anything to add there?
Our legal attorney prepared the deed that we, upon motion, can execute as soon as we contact the owner and let him know that we are ready to sell.
Fantastic. Holding space there for a motion if there is one.
I will move that we adopt the resolution selling parcel number 06-23-230-020, located at the intersection of Lincoln Street and East Michigan Avenue, to Edward C. Tarkowski, an owner of nearby property, for $750, and authorizing the superintendent to execute the deed.
Support.
There's a motion and support. Any discussion? Yeah, please.
I did just want to bring up one thing, since this is something that we did speak about in the last meeting. One of the issues that was brought up with this property was the fact that there was blight that continues to be put on it due to the fact that the township owns the property and can't necessarily always get out there. But the adjacent property owner, if he's able to then own the property, he could then take care of that and set boundaries, no trespassing, different things of that nature to try and take care of that on a more consistent basis. So kind of a little bit of the background on it, on our decision making here.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Other discussion?
I would
Yeah.
suggest a roll call because
It is a resolution, yep.
Yeah. That's it.
Okay. Seeing no other discussion, we'll proceed to a vote. As the clerk said, this is a resolution, so we will conduct a roll call vote. Start with you. Clerk Mackey.
Aye.
I'm an aye. Trustee Martin.
Aye.
Trustee Leonard.
Aye.
Treasurer Robinson.
Aye.
And Trustee Sherwood.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. Thank you again. And finally, this evening, we have and I will share this officially, I guess, as my recommendation, but this is the item to potentially appoint Darien Smith as Police Chief to the Kalamazoo County Consolidated Dispatch Authority Board and relevant committees within that board and authority as listed in our materials. And as I believe this board knows, it has historically been true that our police chief serves as one of the representatives of the township to the county dispatch authority. The County Consolidated Dispatch Authority is, in short, the 911 service and apparatus for the county that holds that up. And so it has generally and historically been appropriate for the police chief to serve as one of the representatives there. So I will move to appoint Police Chief Darien Smith to the Kalamazoo County Consolidated Dispatch Authority Board and committees as listed.
Support.
There's a motion and support. Discussion? Seeing none. This is not a resolution, so a voice vote should suffice. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, nay. And the motion carries. Thank you very much. That concludes new business this evening, brief as expected. No items were removed from the consent agenda and no closed session is required this evening, which brings us to our second public comment period this evening. Once again, if you'd like to make a public comment, feel free to step to either podium, whichever is more comfortable. Let us know your name and address, and you will have 3 minutes to use as you choose. Step forward.
Good evening, Township Board and Superintendent Dave Pulowski, Road Commission, Kalamazoo County. A couple of things. First of all, our 2025 annual report is done, and including a nice section on Kalamazoo Township. I'll leave that with you guys for the township to have for the rest of the year. A couple of things. The other thing I want to talk about is last time I was here, I talked about our Safe Streets for All program, and some of the stuff it's going to be including is some tree trimming as well. Trustee Glass approached me about which streets here in Kalamazoo Township would be affected. There is only one street, and that's Ravine Road, that will be affected, and we will certainly let you know when that happens before it happens, but that's the only road in Kalamazoo Township where our Safe Streets for All program will be implemented. Along with tree trimming, we'll also be adding center line rumble strips, as well as side rumble strips. Countywide, we're going to do 130 miles of center line rumble strips, 74 miles of side rumble strips, side of the road rumble strips, 56 miles of roads that we've identified under our master plan as bike lanes will not get those sides things, so that the bicycles will be able to ride smoothly in those 56 miles of identified bike lanes. The benefits of the tree trim, so tree trimming is going to be a big thing, so we're going to be doing 33 feet from the center line. Some of the benefits from that tree trimming, we believe, is going to help on deer car collisions. You'll have a better idea to see the deer before cars approach. Also, storm response. We think it'll cut down on power outages and having to clear trees from the roads as well. And also, we'll be reseeding this area, including with milkweed, which will help the monarch butterfly habitat as well. Currently, we spend almost $1 million a year on storm response for trees in the road after storms, so that's $1 million that's not going to roads, so we're hoping that'll also save us money as well. After feedback from some of the county and township officials as well as residents, we are going to be examining, re-implementing our tree replacement policy. So if people's trees are getting cut down in their yards, we're going to replace those trees outside of the road right away. So we're going to be looking at that policy at our next road commission meeting. So that's all I have. Of course, the number one reason we're doing this is to cut down on serious injuries and fatalities. So that's the other reason we're doing it. So unless anyone has any questions, that's all I have.
Thank you very much.
much.
Appreciate it. Other public comment this evening? Seeing no additional movement in the room. Last call, if there is, please.
I've done enough news interviews over the past 3 weeks, might as well do this again. So I just want to reiterate how urgent it is that we get some support over at Wildwood off Main Apartments. I know that there are some folks who have chosen to stay at Wildwood off Main. Right now, the Postal Service isn't delivering to their addresses. Trash piles up at the dumpsters. It takes forever for it to get for it to get cleared out. The stairs and the balconies are significantly dangerous, as you folks already know from the news reports and from hearing Mike Allwine's report. Someone is actually going to get hurt. Somebody else is going to get significantly hurt at that apartment complex. There are folks who, granted, we're not being forced to leave, but I feel like, and I know a lot of the other residents there feel like they're being forced to stay. And the tactics that are being used by the apartment office their strength comes from ignorance and from us not knowing what to do or who will support us if we decide not to pay June's rent, or who will support us if we demand our rent back for the month of May, or who will support us if we tell them that it's a condemned apartment, I'm not going to spend time cleaning it, I still want my full security deposit back. I don't think there's enough knowledge across, there's a lot of smart people at the resident community, but there just isn't enough knowledge across our community for us to be able to stand up to these people on our own. And we really need some additional support, not just thoughts and prayers, not just folks who will tell us that they really understand and they want to support us any way they can. We need the actual support. And if you can give that to us, we would really appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Other public comment? Seeing no movement in the room, we will proceed. That concludes public comment this evening. We proceed to superintendent comments. Superintendent?
One update.
Yep.
We just received our 2025 audit, year-end audit back. We have a clean audit, there were no findings, so that's good for us. We will have our hardbound copy in the next week or two, but just to let the board know and the public, based on conversations that we've had, there were no internal control recommendations that needed to be made, and they did thoroughly go through our audit. So we had the CPA review everything, and now we have had an independent auditor come in, and we do that clean audit. So that's great news, and we should have those reports in the next.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you for the update and for your diligence to make sure that that is the case. With that, we will proceed to board member time. We'll begin with you, Trustee Leonard.
I don't have anything super specific, but I just want to thank everyone for their comments, and I appreciate hearing personal stories and what you're experiencing. I think that helps us understand, see where we can support.
Thank you very much. Trustee Martin.
Yeah, I'm just gonna kind of tag on what you just said. Thank you all for coming. Thank you, Dave, for coming too. It's been a while since I've seen you. The Wildwood thing, I think it's all in our minds. I live on the west side, so I know exactly what you guys are going through, and I think it's find a way to make some decisions that get you guys what you need to have legally to get what you need to have out of this situation. I'd like to see that cleaned up because we don't want anybody to get hurt up that area. I think that's probably why they put the signs on them, so nobody would get hurt. And we just need the legal process to work. One of the problems is we're waiting for the legal process to work. So, but our thoughts are with you. We'll see what we can do to help you guys do. So thank you.
Treasurer Robinson.
So I don't have any specific things this evening, but I do want to thank those that came out for keeping us abreast and aware of the situation that is going on. Clearly, for those of us that are on socials, we hear, different things. It is very rare that we get people that show up to meetings. And so it is good that people come out and let us know, and talk to their board and let us know when things are going on. Of course, we were aware of the situation just before things occurred. And so, as Trustee Martin said, what we can do within, the legal restraints for us as a township board, in order to be able to support, along with our building authority and Mike Alawine and what they're doing. Clearly, the first steps that needed to be made for safety purposes have been made, and so I think that was a huge step in the right direction. And so, as we move forward, hopefully we can find ways and avenues in which we can be supportive and help. So, other than that, I just really want to, again, thank you all for just showing up and making your voices heard and not being afraid, and being a voice for all of the other residents who are not here, and for those that may not have been quite as brave today. So thank you so much for that.
Thank you. Trustee Sherwood?
Nothing specific, but just kind of echo everyone else. Thank you for coming. Thank you for speaking. I'm grateful that we can give you this small platform. We have a limited toolkit available to us, but we are watching and listening. And if there is a legal opportunity for us to play a role, we certainly will be there. I live in Westwood. You guys are my neighbors. So keep speaking out. I'm not on social media. My wife is, so I've heard both sides. But I'm grateful that you're showing up in places like this for folks like me who are not engaged in social media. It's a really kind of broken up landscape these days, so it's a lot of legwork, and I appreciate what you're doing.
Thanks. Clerk Mackey.
I have the same thoughts as the rest of the board. We all want to see your situation improved, and we're just really glad you came today to speak about your experiences because as the treasurer noted, not everyone will come and give public comment. So you're giving voice to the other people who live in that community. So thank you so much for coming today. And also thanks for the update on the road commission. Appreciate that. And thanks to the superintendent for the great audit report.
Thank you. I'll echo that. Thank you, Superintendent, for all of your leadership there and at the police department and keeping things on the rails here at the township. I have a couple of things. First, just a brief reminder, mostly for the sake of the recording, because we mentioned this in the work session, that in this room on Thursday, this Thursday, the 28th at 9:30 a.m., the township will host Southwest Michigan First, which is our regional economic development organization, for what's labeled as a business town hall. It is open to the public. You can find an RSVP form online, and Southwest Michigan First will talk, a lot about what they do and how they are here to sort of foster economic development in our community. And we will also speak from the township perspective on both a lot of the growth and work that has happened over the past couple of years since the superintendent came aboard and this board term began, and looking ahead to the next couple of years, some of the exciting changes and growth opportunities that are going to be taking place that will create an even more fertile opportunity to put down roots, both as a resident and a business owner in Kalamazoo Township. I also want to talk about Wildwood, and what I hope I want to be able to do is share some information that I hope brings some clarity and then also some tangible resources moving forward. So first, I do want to clarify, again, because we're here on the recording, if residents who aren't here to converse with us today might watch this later, that the township and CABA being the Kalamazoo Area Building Authority, are two units of government that are independent from each other. The reason that's important is, and I have asked this question of our superintendent and others many times since we learned of what's happening in Wildwood, the township has no legal jurisdiction over what is happening in Wildwood. That is not intended to be sort of a cop-out. Again, we'll get to what I can try to offer in the meantime, but I say that to say we are not in a position to, as a township, condemn buildings. We also are not in a position to enforce condemnations or anything sort of that nature. CABA, however, is also a unit of government subject to all of the transparency mandates that any other governmental unit is, including things like the Freedom of Information Act, among others. And I believe their meetings are also public. The meetings are also public and are required to offer public comment periods as well. Again, if that information is useful, please take that for what it is. But I also want to share a few things. First, what we do have here in the township is we do have ordinances and ordinance enforcement. And I would encourage anyone, whether or not you're a Wildwood resident, but especially in that case, if you believe that a township ordinance has been violated, there are a few ways that you can go about bringing that forward here in the township. There is a form on our website at ktwp.org or ktownship-abbreviated.org to file an ordinance enforcement complaint. You also can send that directly to me at supervisor@ktwp.org. If you need help navigating an ordinance complaint, I'm happy to do that. And again, my email is supervisor@ktwp.org. If you need help navigating any of this or getting in touch with the right resources, please reach out to me directly. I'm happy to help make introductions or get you connected to the right folks. One, I think, privilege that we have as elected officials and members of a local board is that we do often have direct access to folks that are otherwise sometimes difficult to get in contact with. So please use me for that purpose if helpful. Another potential resource I wanted to point out is that Kalamazoo County does collect a housing millage, and they have a housing office that does a vast range of things and provides a vast range of services across the housing spectrum here in the county. But again, they do collect a millage specifically for housing, and so I want to encourage you to reach out directly to their office. And Superintendent, I've talked a little bit about this as well, but their director, Mary Balcoma, I know and I think we know is dedicated to that housing office at the county, providing good service. They have an office line, it's 269-720-3246. And then the Director Balcoma's email is just mary.balcoma@calcounty.gov. And I want to encourage you to reach out, again, because they have a set of resources that no other entity in this county has. I can't speak for what specifically they can or cannot do, but they are there. And again, I'll reiterate, if you need support or just would like support reaching out to anyone at the county or anywhere else directly, please feel free to contact me. I will get on the phone with you and them if necessary, or I'm happy to go down to the county with you if you just want someone who works in government to sort of be there to support you, because we are, going back to what I said a minute ago, we are limited as to our legal standing as a township, as to what we can do, what we can and can't enforce. We have very little, next to no authority when it comes to this matter, and at the same time, the township is here to serve every resident, whether you're a homeowner or renter or otherwise, or looking for a home or trying to find a place to live. And so please reach out to me. As you've heard, I think, from all of us, this board is here to support you, and while there are limitations to what we can do, that does not equate to a sort of washing our hands of the matter and walking away. We're here, we're accessible, please utilize us. With that, we can proceed to adjournment unless there are any other comments. Seeing none from the board, we will adjourn. Well, actually, I think at our last meeting took on the practice of a motion to adjourn. So a motion would be in order.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Thank you.
Support?
There's a motion and support. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Nay. Thank you for no nays. We are adjourned at 7:47 p.m. Thank you all.
You know what? Connie was given an honorary